$1,000 funeral. Members of Congress now have a...
He shoots, he scores! Gretzky on a breakaway. With it again for the Penguins. Deneen backhands the blue line, taken away. Gretzky in front alone. He dekes, he shoots, he scores! The Kings intercept a pass at the blue line. They find Gretzky down the left side to Bernie Nichols on the power play. Now up the middle to Fraser. Fraser shoots, score! As it was tipped in by Gretzky coming down. Long reach, he gives it to Coffey. Coffey back to Lemieux, left side. Lemieux in front to Bourque. His shot knocked down. In front, score, Kevin Stevens. Lemieux gave it to Kevin Stevens on up to Gretzky, right side. Gretzky still waits, moves toward the slot, sends it down in deep to Robitaille, and Nichols, he scores! Bang, bang play in front, and Bernie Nichols gets his second straight, and looking for Lowry, and Leach steals and finds Ridley, a breakaway. Ridley coming on, a shot, and a save by Greg Millen. Beautiful save by the St. Louis goaltender to keep this game scoreless. Hunter gets the puck. He throws to Scott Stevens, winds, a slap shot, and a goal! Zone, checked by Hatcher, and Langway steals and clears to the point. Kept in, they score from the point. A slap shot by Skarta, tipped on the way. Now it's over to the corner, centered for Brindamore. Backhand shot. Beaupre makes the save and shuts the door.
Oh, terrific work from that man, robbing Brindamore twice. You see the problem the Blues also having, like the Capitals, in bouncing pucks.
Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Sidney Moncrief. We're fortunate to have Magic and Bird with us as we begin the 90s.
People's minds. And then for the Bucks with the big trade, trying to bring everybody into play early.
Well, Gerald Wilkins takes care of the first basket with ease. And the next jump on top.
The ball and his man at the same time.
Third foul called against Gerald. Being one of them, he can play any one of three positions. Sigma had it blocked by Ewing out of bounds. Second block for Patrick.
Jack, you might add him to that list of why they won't shoot that high percentage.
Another New York turnover. Pierce will go end to end, but it's blocked from behind by Ewing. The follow is finally put home by Alvin Robertson, his first two of the night.
Well,
Pierce has a nice touch, doesn't he? That's a half-court offense, the half-court defense. Two things the Knicks had some problems doing last year.
Now you see the
Johnny
penetration.
Newman got in there that time.
But that's what set it up, Pete, the penetration by Strickland.
Bring the regular season into form.
Okay, Doug Collins, we look forward to working with you this year. And thanks for joining us tonight. 21. Another New York turnover. Jeff Grayer will be unmolested.
And again, Pete, they throw it inside. Milwaukee very good defensively, attacking inside. The worst thing you can do as a player is to put the ball down.
Come up, is that like a dream come true?
Well, throughout the ordeal of the last 6 months, not having a job, I wanted to make sure that I chose the right position. And I've of course been associated with the Southeastern Conference for many years. We've had some outstanding teams here at Tennessee, but there were other opportunities. But I wanted to wait for the right job, and hopefully this will be the right opportunity for me. Well, it's a big night for us. All this developed so quickly late this afternoon, and I'm excited about the opportunities with the University of Florida, and I can't wait to get down to Gainesville and do a good job for the Gators. Well, I want to meet with the players early tomorrow afternoon, and I want to get the players on the practice floor and let them know all about me, and I need to find out about them, and I think it'll be as healthy a situation as can be when you consider that there's been such a turnover in just the last 24 hours.
Georgetown faces Villanova tomorrow.
That's an awesome Georgetown team. That game will be up tomorrow. Right now in Big East action today, Syracuse leading Pittsburgh by 20 points. Here, we've got Stanford on top of Florida by 7. Well, Syracuse is getting their act back together now.
Sherman Douglas healthy out of Notre Dame, started playing great basketball. They are solid right now.
So as the little general goes, so goes Syracuse.
Absolutely. Another Washington, D.C. youngster.
Good ball player indeed. And we're looking at one there. Todd Lichty looking inside for Blaha, throws it away. Florida on the break. Pass deflected, but Kerr goes in, and you know he was banged hard by Reveneau, and I'm sure he loved it.
Reveneau doesn't take any change when he gives a foul.
To cut it to at least 6. And Lett throws it away. Bill, I'm wondering if fatigue is starting to play on Clifford Lett.
A little bit. No question. He's asked to do everything.
This is Lichty.
Look how he draws the attention of Kerr in the Reveneau School of Defense, ensuring no goal goes in.
At the conclusion of every CBS NCAA broadcast, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholastic Fund of each school to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Boy, did Kerr deliver his calling card that time to Lichty.
Emphatically.
But Lichty, unperturbed, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and is still perfect from the free throw line. He is now 9 of 10. It always works.
It sure does. He's got great work habits, according to Mike Montgomery. Drills hard, practices hard, loves the game. And speaking to he and Wright, he was more emphatic about wanting to play in the pros than Wright. Wright said, I'd like to get the chance, and we look forward to it, but it wasn't the end of the world, at least in the response to me. Whereas Lichty said, oh, I'd love it.
Chapman operated on Blaha. Blaha really slapped him hard that time. This is Lichty.
He can get out. You know where his speed is great? Top of the key, top of the key. Gets out and runs there. Shows good anticipation for the loose ball and break.
53-42. Stanford on top by 11, and Lichty made no bones in talking to reporters about how he felt he could have helped the Olympic team had he been there. As Shensis draws the foul, Howard Wright picks up his second personal foul. 15 foul for Stanford.
Now you mentioned Lett out there. He averaged about 36 minutes a game, which is quite an extended period of time. He is used to it, but maybe not at the level of guarding the guy as complete. But don't forget, Chris Jackson came in and played in Gainesville. He had to play him when he tuned it up to 53. Oof. LSU
nails the first one. Now Norm Sloan taking a bit of a gamble, bringing in Dwayne Davis with 4 personal fouls at the 12:57 mark. Michael Kerr out as Shinsis misses the second. So Sloan feeling, I guess, it's now or never.
Yeah, he doesn't want to waste the time. Get back in it. If he doesn't, he can always come back with Kerr.
This is Wright. And Wright draws the foul from Dwayne Shinsis.
The philosophy of Stanford, adhering to it all day, going deep. They stuck with it even though there's a good, quick, jumping defensive team, a team that reacts to the basketball. Florida, they've been able to get it. Look at the hold off and then the release. They clear out the backside to eliminate the help, and Dwayne Shinsis with the giveaway.
Howard Wright, son of Ernie Wright, 6-time All-Pro offensive tackle with San Diego and Cincinnati.
Tough change in climate, huh? From San Diego to Palo Alto.
Drastic.
Yeah.
As Wright nails a second free throw, averaging 14 points on the season. He's 7 below his average right now. Stanford on top by 12. 12:37 remaining.
Blaha doing a nice job on Livingston Chapman low. He's trying to hold him off.
And he does. And he converts. So good, hard-working effort on the inside by Chapman pays off as he drops in his 12th point of the afternoon. Back to a 10-point game.
He was a power player last year, facing more. Now they need some points. They dump him low.
Bill, I got to ask, at what point do you give Lett a break, just a couple minutes breather?
I don't think he's going to get it.
But Adam Keefe got that shot.
I don't think they have a choice. They just don't have the substance on the bench.
Well, I guess Lett understood that going into the game.
Chris, did you ever want to come out of a game? Think about it. So much. He's fresh when he's got the ball.
Clifford Lett's 6th point of the afternoon. He averages 14. Well, I tell you, if I was getting embarrassed, I'd want to breathe a while to come back at it strong. Not that he's getting embarrassed, but Lett certainly is having to work hard.
He just showed it there. He got lost. Giving Lichty this opportunity.
And Lichty continues. That's had an outstanding game, 25 points.
Where do you rest? Defense. And he did.
3-0.
Huh? Are you okay? Just tournament play.
That's right, just tournament play. Going back to their championship season, 1941-42.
Who do you think of as a great player when you think of Stanford in the past history?
Oh my gosh, Kim Belton.
Oh yeah,
You got a few
friend of
names?
yours. Well, people think of Jim Pollard for one, Greg Butler, Rich Kelly, who played with the Jazz, Butler with the Knicks. But I got to think of Hank Lucetti. And Hank Lucetti was the first guy. Now, Red Holzman, who I spoke to this morning, was telling me he was at the University of Baltimore when he saw the first one-hander for the first time in anybody in the East Coast mind was Lucetti, who was a great player out there in 38, 39, and 40. I know we weren't around, but
revolutionized the game as Brian Hogan nails that shot. And the Chevrolet players of the game for the Florida Gators, Dwayne Shinsis. And for Stanford is Todd Lichty. Chevrolet will donate a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. And congratulations to both of those players. The big fella, Shinsis, obviously a little despondent because his team is losing.
Had a tough loss for them. Tough loss because they had started playing better. Had a good feel about themselves. They've got to gather up. They don't have much room or margin for error in terms of the NCAA.
Tough schedule notwithstanding.
Right, exactly. But Stanford, I think, is not only going to make the tournament, I think they're going to be a factor in the tournament. They're not an easy out. And as I mentioned earlier, Montgomery, having watched him last year in Maui and this year in tapes and live on occasion, does an outstanding job with his team. He's one of those names that's going to grow in this profession as a coach.
And some players getting some playing time here. Deshaun Wingate and Derek Bruton for Stanford.
The big guy, at least football-wise, Michael Kerr.
With the garbage point.
They're going to have a violation here if they don't get it in. They got a 5-second violation. Put the ball down, and that's the first time I've seen Montgomery upset. He's not that upset. He's taking Lichty out.
An outstanding game for Todd Lichty. 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Continues to impress.
John Patrick in there.
Boy, Oklahoma State giving Oklahoma a real run for the money. Oh! Less than a minute remaining as Kerr comes away with the second garbage basket. Good, strong move on the inside. He's got 7.
Good double up, and then the quick foul to stop the clock. I mentioned John Patrick because I noticed you went right to him last night. Washington, D.C., Vienna, Virginia. Knew you from the local scene as well as the national scene.
You know, he went to DeMatha before transferring to Sidwell Friends as Renato Garcia fouls out of the ball game. His 5th personal foul. Replacing him is number 22, Taj Zahner, a walk-on.
He's lost 15 pounds. They call him Babe Ruth for eating all the candy. He was recruited Division II and hanging around, and Norm Sloan asked him to come out. That's how things have been going for Florida.
Speaking of Morgan Wooten at DeMatha Catholic High School, we've got a nice feature coming up on him tomorrow at halftime of the Georgetown-Villanova game. One of the legends, and this guy here laying a nice foundation. Mike Montgomery, you've talked about him as being one of the coaches of the future.
The up-and-comers. And, of course, a road trip, Arizona State there, and then down to Florida. These kids come in tired late last night. Boy, did they react as Hogan drills it.
Montgomery, 8 seasons at Montana, 2.5 here.
That's got to be intentional. That was a karate chop. Oh, that was a clothesline. That didn't bother Michael Kerr. Taylor will have a stiff neck for a month.
That was a chop across the right side of the neck.
And who knows it better than you with your martial arts?
Well, let's see. Taylor's got 11 points. He's been perfect from the free throw line and stays that way, so it didn't affect him.
He won't be able to put his shirt on another half hour.
You know, the thing about the Stanford guys, as physical as they are, they can dish it out, but they can also take it.
Well, they're used to it in practice.
8 for 8 from the free throw line for Terry Taylor. And Stanford, 84-69. Rebounded by Kelly McKinnon. Good scrapping hustle by Florida as Deshaun Wingate comes up with the rebound. So Stanford will improve its record to 17-5 overall. They're in third place in the Pac-10 conference behind Arizona and UCLA. So Stanford comes away with an 84-69 victory. So for Bill Raftery and Tim Ryan, this is James Brown saying so long from Orlando Arena with the final score, Stanford 84, Florida 69. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball has been a presentation of CBS Sports. We now take you to Pittsburgh and Vern Lundquist.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the Stanford-Florida game as Matt Rose scores here. Stanford with a comfortable win on the road at Orlando by 15 points. Vern Lundquist and Tommy Heinsohn from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, where Syracuse is in the process of destroying Pittsburgh. Ryan Shorter goes into the line and draws the foul from Stephen Thompson. 97-75. A 22-5 lead in the last 6:18 in the first half gave Syracuse a 16-point halftime lead of 52-36. They have been behind just once. That
day, but already the soil is crusty and hard, not a bit of moisture in it. Monty Pugh says with a little luck and a little bit of rain, these peanuts can be saved. But he says if they aren't, he'll have to borrow money next year to pay for debts incurred this year, something he's already done since 1980. Dean Argo, WSFA News 12, Pike County. Do it one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2. Most of Pike County received a badly needed rain shower yesterday, but already the soil is crusty, not a bit. 5, 4, 3, 2. Most of Pike County received a badly needed rain shower yesterday, but already the soil is crusty, not a bit of moisture in it. Pugh says with a little luck and a little rain, this... Are you going to... 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, Darryl, do it on the peanuts, they need it.
5, 4, 3, 2. Most of Pike County received a badly needed rain shower yesterday, but already the soil is crusty, not a bit of moisture in it. Pugh says with a little luck and a little rain, this peanut field can be saved. If not, he'll have to borrow money to pay for the debts incurred this year, something he's had to do practically every year since 1980. Dean Argo, WSFA News 12, Pike County.
of situation because you could hold yourself open for civil liability. You could be sued by somebody. I mean, that's my responsibility as Attorney General. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, if I had to do it over again, I'd do the same thing. I mean, I have that responsibility by law. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that. There are some people that might think that it is. Almost 50% of them voted for the other guy on June the 24th. So, I mean, I don't make excuses for that. And when Bill Baxley came out and said that Charlie Graddick was confiscating ballot boxes, let me tell you what we did. We had been told by people who had run for governor before and had lost by narrow margins. But you better be careful because in Alabama they have a way of doing things that may not be cricket, and that there's been rumors that they steal elections at nighttime, and that you better take precautions for that, have ballot security. And so we had some lawyers set up in like 30-something counties that if by 10 o'clock in these particular counties, if the ballots and votes had not been brought in, then to get a